Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Farming Simulator 22 as we continue our start from scratch run here on Elmcreek. And last episode, we went a little over on our normal loan. I grabbed an extra $200,000 in loan because I had a little add-on that allows me to do that, which again puts us at the same starting money that you would have on 19 on a start from scratch. So I think it's fair, but I'm also still going with the fact that it's harder on this game than it is on 19. So let's not make it any harder by not having less starting money, you know, or by having less starting money. We do have strawberries going though. We actually didn't go that far over. Honestly, I took a $200,000 loan. I've only spent 14,000 of it, not even. So we almost had enough to do everything I've done so far. It's just, why not? Let's just get it done, move on with our lives, and speed kind of things up a little bit. We're already past 100 episodes, guys. That's my reasoning. Let's get some of this stuff done. Anyway, strawberries are going, so we'll keep an eye on those. I got them filled up pretty decently with some water. So they're looking okay. It'll last us a little while. Other than that, nothing else for us to do right this moment. I thought about buying another field with our extra spending money, but field 50 here is got a crop that I don't really care about, which is sugar beets. And my game is having some issues. So we're not going to do that. We'll wait and see if there's a crop nearby that pops up that is relevant to us. Preferably grain, but for right now we are fine. Nothing else for us to do right now. The bread is full though. How full is it? Have we been sitting on some bread that's been doing nothing? No, we're good. So let's bring our tractor over there, get that at least loaded up on the trailer for now. All right, good stuff. What is the sell time for bread again? I always forget. Strawberries, because we will need to know that, is January. And then bread is... Did I miss it? I passed it, didn't I? There it is. December, so they're actually back to back. So we're still a little ways away from both of those. What else do we need for cakes that would be worth picking up at some point? Again, the eggs. We know what the eggs we're going to do as soon as we get the grain. That's basically it. I mean, if I got a dairy, I could buy milk to make butter for a while and eventually buy milk for here as well. I'm not planning on doing cows on this map because I've got plenty of cows elsewhere. And as far as sugar, I could buy the sugar mill and go that route. I don't know. I have to think about it. Or I could just buy the raw sugar. I will think about all of those things as we progress, but we don't need them urgently, so. Still need to get this fertilized. What is that? That's fertilizer right there. All right, time to fast forward. I think we're good. We're planted, we're rolled, we're limed. Got our strawberries now. Got our silage rolling. I should have paid off some of that loan, so I didn't have to pay a bigger loan interest. I always forget. I deserve to have to pay the extra loan interest. Okay, so there's our stuff. We do need to get the sprayer. It does not have to be the John Deere one. It can be one of the other ones with See and Spray turn on, which is probably what we're going to do because our fields are actually relatively small. Any good used stuff? Unfortunately, no. Nothing that we would be... I mean, don't get me wrong, this case, that's way bigger than we would ever need, to be honest. Same with that cedar. And then we don't need the slurry stuff, so. Wrong map for all of those. Actually, I don't know if we use... The only thing we would use on any of our maps would be that slurry thing. So, with that being said, let's grab... Now, just to be sure, it's only that last set, right? The Cavernland, I think it is. Yep. I think See and Spray, I think, is the John Deere, like, registered trademark thing, right? Is that what it's called? It's actually called See and Spray there, and then the rest of them are just called wheat spot spraying. Oh, I brought my weight with me. That was kind of a mistake because I meant to grab the front tank. I mean, I can get by with just the back tank for now. Yeah, that's probably fine, actually. We do have weeds, right? I'm coming all the way over here. I didn't even check to see that we do have weeds and actually have weeds. Yeah, we do. So we got lots of herbicide there. Let's grab. We're gonna grab the Convernland one. I actually like the one that goes on the back better, to be perfectly honest. I could bump it up in size. I could also just buy it straight up. I don't know that we need 28. 24 is pretty good in middle ground though. But it is so expensive with this, isn't it? Man, that more than doubles the price. That weed spot spraying is more than the base price by itself. We got more income sources now with the strawberries. And we'll still have enough money to get the chickens. And we're going to use this a lot, is the problem. Is it not problem, is the thing. I say we're going to use this a lot. We're only going to use this once a year. Twice if we use it for the grass, which we probably will. But for the grass version, we wouldn't need to add the weed spot spraying. We could get by with just the base thing. And obviously that would be a very significant drop in price. It's only $1,700. So for 5,000 bucks, 5,000 bucks would be so about 5,000 bucks a year. That's 15 years. 15 years. Okay, we're leasing it. there's just no point, right? 15 years for us to have enough as much money as this thing's going to cost us. I think by then we will have enough money to buy it or find it on the used market. Already got the narrow tires on there, although I think the crop is still in early enough stage that it doesn't actually need it. But I went ahead and put them on here just so we have them. One thing I wouldn't mind getting is the workshop. We have to repair this tractor so much, and being able to change out equipment would actually be a really cool thing. I think the workshop's only like 30,000, 40,000 bucks, something like that. That's going to be plenty, I think. Especially, oh yeah, this is definitely plenty. Because of the See and Spray, the other benefit is that it, I'm going to keep calling it See and Spray because that's the one I'm used to on my tribute run. But the spray intelligence, you use hardly any herbicide. Got some canola around, but the canola doesn't really help us for our chickens that we don't have yet. You guys remember we had bees on this map? Boy, how times changed. Remember when I thought I was going to do cereal on this map? I'm still going to do cereal at some point. Just not on this map. I've decided to do the cakes. Because this will probably be the only time we ever do the cakes. Really wish that map down there would switch to like a weed view. Maybe the 24 meters was too wide. Maybe I will have to shrink it down to the 18. Mostly I was thinking for that other field, but honestly, the 18 is probably plenty. Save us a few $100. It wasn't that much to add the extra width, but if it's not super, super useful. Well, 18 meters, let me think, that's 6 meters less. I mean, the biggest thing I wanted to avoid was having to do an extra pace back here. I think this one can do 2. I think the small field can do 2. I think the other field, though, it would be I think the 24 is going to be helpful on that one to save us a trip potentially. Yeah, the good thing about this intelligent sprayer is that I don't have to shrink the width of the arm because it's only going to spray where it sees weeds anyway. And I sure hope we start getting full credit for this. We could definitely use the extra boost on the money. I mean, we're up to 68. It's really just the fertilizer still. Fertilizer is my Achilles heel. Now, I haven't fertilized these yet, so it makes sense here. But man, someday I will figure out the soybean fertilizer issue. Or one of you guys will and tell me what I'm doing wrong. But 68 on all those. See, that's the problem, though. This one right here is going to count against us, isn't it? I think it will. Which is a little bit annoying. Why give us the ability to create fields and edit fields and kind of change how fields look if it's going to count against us for this new feature you've got, you know? It's possible it only counts the actual field part of it. And even though it's just a tiny little corner, since it's not been done anything with fertilizer or anything like that, it's just a bad score because it's a bad score. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's a smaller field. All right. How are we looking there? Looks good. Actually, I think we're going to have to make 3 trips no matter what we do. I think it's possible 18 would have been 4 trips, though. It's hard to tell, to be honest. Just kind of guessing, looking at it. And I'm probably wrong. My ability to guess widths and things on this game, I think, are proven really bad. I'm actually not sure how fast the silage over there will process on this game with seasons turned on. It doesn't take forever on 19. I think it's just, I want to say it's like a day and a half or something like that. I can't remember exactly, honestly. It's been too long. But it's like, it's not, you know, a super long time. For all I know, it's a year. You know, I don't know. I think it was at 9% earlier. So, was that 9% at the end of the day, or was that 9% that I had already fast forwarded today? I actually don't remember. We'll go over there and check in just a minute. Hello, dears. I think the partial corner of this does count because we're getting full credit for several of the categories. Weed control being one of them. Now, it could also just be because weeds don't grow where there's not a field. So maybe that's a bad example. But I would guess that it probably is smart enough to know that I've trimmed back that field and only count the field portion of it. But we'll see. Once we do the fertilizer, that'll probably be the real tell. We'll have to do the fertilizer, then I think we'll have to harvest. Because I don't think we'll get credit for it until that happens. Actually, I'm going to put the herbicide over here after all. Just kind of off out of the way. Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting a shed at some point. Just because, I don't know, just it looks cooler. And to store all of our stuff. We just hadn't had the space really up until now. Oh my goodness, I kept the lime thing, didn't I? Oh, I kept the cedar. I kept everything. Oh, I'm so dumb. The forage wagon I'm okay with. The fertilizer spreader was a mistake. Thankfully, this does not cost that much. Cedar, also a mistake, but also doesn't really cost that much if I remember right. Let me go check see if I emptied out the cedar. But yeah, the forage wagon, that was fine. Well, it depends on how long it takes the silage to go. If the silage is only like 12% right now, well then yeah, I'm getting rid of that. But I suspect it'll be higher. Yeah, okay, we can get rid of the seeds. Yeah, I got distracted. That's part of me just like starting this process and then having to stop my session of recordings and go do something else. And, you know, it's been a few days and then I just forgot where we left off exactly. Hopefully it doesn't happen too often, but it does happen. Let's come over here because this is actually kind of important information to know as far as timings of things. Oh, we're almost done. Nope. Yeah, it's a good thing we kept the forage harvester because actually we would, or not forage harvester, forage wagon. We would, if we fast forward to today, it'll be done by end of day. Which, the next question is, what am I looking for? I'm looking for silage, and my brain was like thinking, and so it's January is what we're looking for here. Okay. So I had a thought. It's kind of a roundabout way of doing something, but I think it would work. But I need to know which of these would count. If one of these silos can hold silage, then I actually think it'd be better to get a silo like this to use the forage harvester to dump all in there and then just get a really big trailer to haul it off. Because forage wagons, if we were to get, for example, let's just the biggest forge wagon we get is 56,000, right? Yeah, that's the biggest one. And that is 161,000 bucks. But if we just get a trailer that does that much, there's a 60,000 trailer. That's about 30,000 less. Is that the biggest one? I thought there were some that were at least close. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong number. I've been looking at the wrong number this whole time. There is a 58,000 one, which is close, for $84,000, right? That's half. That one's actually not bad. 45,000. It's like any of these actually specifically do silage, right? So, yeah, all of these do. 51,000 right there, silage. So any of these would be really good and hold more than our forge wagon does. That one does silage. That one's 59,000. It's not. I mean, it's less, right? It is less, but we do have to play the investment of getting the silo, which, you know, is that better or not? It's hard to tell. Is it possible the other one? How close is the other one? Actually, we did that one a little bit earlier, didn't we? This was a 92. I bet it's 92 as well, though, because they were close to each other. They are. Okay, I'm going to go up to speed 5 then, and we will check back in on that here in just a little bit. If one day bumps it up that much, then towards the end of this day should be quite a bit. All right, we can get rid of the cedar now. Okay. Sprayer, we're fine. We got to do the, I should not have turned, the only reason I unloaded that was because I was checking the cedar. Now we can go grab it again and do the fertilizer. Our strawberries are already getting kind of full over there. What is that? That's fertilizer. That's herbicide, I mean. We might need to go get more fertilizer, actually. This will last us a little bit. At least get it started. We actually need quite a bit. It looks like 160. That's actually quite a bit. Really? You're dumb. Why do I let you do it? I should just do it myself. I was about to switch over and look at something, but I wanted to make sure he could finish it, and then he didn't finish it. So I'm like, never mind. I'll do it myself. We're not getting credit for the fertilizer now, are we? No. Has to be on harvest. That's what I thought. Just making sure. This is really not very good land. This field right here is really bad. This one's passable. So is this one kind of passable. The green is... The gray is what you want. Or this kind of brownish gray, whatever color you want to call that. That's what you want. The... I think the... What is it? The... Yeah. That dark black color, or kind of, it's almost like a dark blue almost, but whatever color you want to call that, that clay, that is the worst. Loam is the best, clay is the worst, and then the other two versions of loam, sandy loam and loamy sand, are, I think, in the middle. Looks like loamy sand is pretty bad too. It's really just the, oh, I didn't mean to start a worker, or an automated guy. Just hit the wrong button on that one. So loam's best, sandy loam is second best. I think, what would you say that? It looks like the silty clay and the loamy sand are both just bad. Like they're about the same level of bad. But you take what you can get, right? I mean, you can't. I mean, now that we have this, we can start shopping for fields that are better. Got better kind of type of yields and stuff. But I mean, you just really don't know until you scan them, right? Now we can pay for scans. That's kind of like an upfront investment to pay for the scan before you buy the field. It might be worth doing. Now, thankfully, we can see patterns and we can kind of predict what a field will be kind of like if we can see the field next to it, so to speak. Plus, we also have done a couple of these fields on our other playthroughs, so we already know what the land looks like. As far as I know, that is a set type of soil, no matter what your playthrough is. Like if you were to load up a game right now, it would be the exact same as what my game shows, I think. Truth be told, I haven't actually compared them side by side. There could be some variance there. But this looks very familiar to what I saw, on my other map, this right here. So I'm assuming they're the same. Looks like we're going to have enough fertilizer for all of this, actually. That is very good. And at least now we know sorghum does need more fertilizer than what we have for our other map, for our tribute run, because on that one, we have too much fertilizer for soybeans, and so we're not getting any score for the soybeans. But it's only about, sorry about hitting the mic, it's only about 60 kilograms, I think, at the most. So we will need to add more fertilizer for sorghum, which is good, because I was planning on planting sorghum next, just so we can at least get benefit from something, because I would really like to sell our clothes with the maximum profit on that map. It's almost to the point where it's not worth buying a field if it's going to have subpar results, if it ends up tanking your percentage, because your other two fields would be more. I mean, maybe it's not exactly true, because it really depends on the crops. If you're doing the exact same crop in all the fields, then no, it's not true. Buying another field, even if it's a bad field, is just more money to sell. But if it's a different crop that sells for less, which in our case it is, which is soybeans, then it's really driving down the price of our cotton further than it should be, if we just had the cotton fields alone. Kind of an interesting thing. Because we get another 6% on like $120,000 a year is what we're selling right now. Well, actually, that's about. Let me think. No, I was wrong. It actually wouldn't. It's still a good chunk of money, but it's not. It's not as much more as I was thinking it would be. No, it's still good to have the soybeans, even at the lower prices. Now, if the soybeans were tanking us by 15%, like the full amount, that's a different story. But it's only taking us like 5 or 6%. We're at 9%, and we can go up to 15, and that's small enough that it's still worth doing the soybeans at that point. But I think the point is valid. It's just at our scale, it's not. Does that make sense? I think you still have to consider that as a thing before you buy another field. Is it worth buying that field if it's going to cause you problems for your overall score? All right, we're done with this piece of equipment. We can drop this off and we'll rent it again later without the extra bits. How much did we go up in an hour or like half an hour? Probably not much, right? 4%. Never mind. Well, let's do this. There we go. Done for fermenting. Very nice. Well, one thing before I'm going to... I know we're a little over time, but I wanted to check this real quick. We're going to open you up. We're going to open you up. This is something I'm not 100% sure will work. I've been going off the assumption that this little thing will still pick up from that bunker. It might not. I can't remember I can't remember if I've tried it before. I feel like I have, but I just don't remember. Normally when I do bunker stuff like this in massive amounts, I get the very expensive mouse thing, which just sucks it all up and conveyor belts it over to trailers. But I can't remember if that's just because it's just more efficient or if it's just the only thing that actually works. So we're going to see. Turn on lower. Oh. I mean, it picked up a tiny bit. Oh, there it goes. Why is the rest of this not open? Well, it doesn't matter. Proof of concept. We'll just have to figure out why it's not opening the rest of it. Probably just need to click it again. No? Do I have to open the other end? Oh, there we go. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe because both ends weren't open, it didn't do the middle. I feel like it just usually just goes away as soon as I start rolling over it in the past, but for some reason it's not doing that this time. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is not the best way to do this. Why is it not lifting the rest? And I can't even drive on that. Like, you see how slippery it is? That's actually kind of funny. Why is it not opening the rest of the silo? Now, I haven't had this problem on 19 that I remember. But this is my first time doing it on 22. So, I mean, it's possible there's something I'm missing. I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up. I'm a little confused. I mean, we got a big chunk of it, but we know it's going to work, technically. Why are you not opening up, my friend? I'll figure it out later. But we're going to put a cut in there. Like I said, we're way over time. But I just kind of wanted to kind of get a proof of concept. And at least we've got a partial proof of concept. We'll have to do some more later. But I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you. And I hope you join me again next time. Thank you and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.